In today's video, I'll be trying Golden Dragon Hotpot in Karachi. There is a lot of uncertainty in Pakistan in every aspect, but one thing is always certain. No matter how hot it gets in Karachi, Karachiites will be having the hottest and the spiciest food known to mankind all year round. You'd think that a city which is hot and humid all year round would like to chill a little bit, but no. I'm actually surprised they haven't started putting red chili in their chai yet. Maybe I shouldn't give them ideas. This city is committed to eating food that makes you sweat in the sweatiest of weather conditions. And this Islamabadi is here for it. The worst thing about going to a hot pot restaurant is hot pot takes some time to prep, and you're just sitting there looking at the menu, and then you start ordering other stuff because you're hungry. And that's what we did. We ordered a cucumber salad. Even though it's a salad and it's mainly made of cucumbers, it's still pretty filling. And this one was no exception because it came with a lot of peanuts and mushrooms, and this black fungus mushroom is personally my weakness. I absolutely love it. It's super crunchy. I love it in a salad. I love it in soups. I love it in all forms. And then the cucumbers and the peanuts. Honestly, I could just eat all of this by myself, but I had to share it with two other people. Just look at the dressing on this. It was spicy. There were sesame seeds. It was a little tangy. I would love to recreate this at home, but please do not ask me for a recipe because I just wing it when I'm cooking stuff. When I cook, I just put random ingredients in and I hope for the best. I'm a reasonably good cook, but please never ask me for a recipe because I never follow any recipes myself. Like this, right? मैंने डाली थी. Guys, I don't know what happened to me that day, but my brain was not braining, and my brother, my sweet brother, he jumped in to help me because I was clearly struggling, and he started putting the veggies and the dumplings and the mushrooms and everything. Basically, he started making my hot pot for me. I completely glitched. Between the two of us, my brother is definitely the expert when it comes to hot pot making. I usually manage to do just fine, but I don't know what happened to me that day. I think it was the weather and the humidity, and then this hot pot steam blowing into my face. It literally felt like being in a sauna. I think I was sitting in the direction in which the wind was blowing, and all the steam from both my friend and my brother's hot pot kept blowing into my face, and so did the steam from my own hot pot. I just want to point out that this is not the restaurant's issue. These are my own issues, my own sensory issues, and being overstimulated very easily. So none of this was the restaurant's fault. I was just having one of those clumsy days where I got overstimulated. And clearly I was struggling to put my noodles into my bowl as well. And my sweet brother, you can tell he's my elder brother, he helped me load my bowl up with my hot pot. I don't know what was up with me. It was just one of those days. And also I think And normally when I film other food, there's not 20 things on the table and I'm able to film easily. But with a hot pot, there's like 20 plates and then these big bowls with steaming hot fluid in them with literal fire underneath them. So I think I was trying to be careful not to burn myself or burn anything, which didn't really work out because I ended up splashing myself with hot pot broth many times and I kept burning my hands. But once again, not the restaurant's fault. It was just one of those clumsy days for me. Anyway, now let's talk about the taste. First of all, the broth was solid, even though I made it a bit spicy, extra spicy, by adding the spicy paste that they brought on the side. I really should not have added that because I think the mild would have been good enough for me. I don't know why I ended up making it spicier because it was spicy as hell. And Karachiites have a really high spice tolerance. My brother has been living in Karachi for 3-4 years now, and he has definitely gotten used to Karachi level spiciness. I have not. This was extra spicy for me. To be fair, I did add extra spice to the mild one, so it had turned into more of a slightly hotter spicy than I was initially expecting. But other than the fact that I made it extra spicy, it was really good. I think it was a really flavorful broth. There was just one thing missing from the broth and I couldn't initially tell what it was, and I later realized that normally when I have hot pot, I usually get the peanutty sauce that they give on the side, and initially I forgot to put that in. We did order this, they did bring it. I forgot to put it in because my brain was not braining, like I have already explained. And once I put this yummy peanut sauce in, it was amazing. It really elevated the flavor of the broth 10 times more. Broth wise, it was a solid 9 out of 10 for sure. There was just one slight issue. I think it was just a little too salty for me. I can handle high spice, but when the salt level crosses a certain point, then it might get a little uncomfortable for some of us who prefer to tone down the saltiness in their food. And everything else was great too. I loved the fresh beef. I loved the dumplings. Everything else, you more or less is the same across all hot pot places, like broccoli or bok choy or all these veggies. They don't really differ that much. But dumplings is one area where you can really tell the difference between different hot pots. The dumplings and the broth basically. Normally a lot of places, their dumplings usually fall apart very quickly as soon as they hit the hot broth in the pot. But these didn't fall apart, so I was really happy about that. And I was quickly on to my second bowl. One way in which I can tell how much I enjoyed a hot pot is how many bowls of it I had. And I think my personal record is 6 bowls. I once went out with my brother. It was just the two of us, and between the two of us we managed around 11 bowls, and I had 6 of those, so I beat my brother even. But on this day, because I was so overwhelmed and overstimulated, and the fact that it was super hot and all these other issues that I was personally having, I only managed to have 3 bowls, which isn't bad. If it had been less than 3 bowls, then that would have been a problem, because if I go somewhere and if I only have 1 bowl of hot pot, then that usually means it was a bad hot pot. But 3 is something I can easily manage, and I was able to have it that day. There's not a lot of hot pot variety that you can get in Islamabad. It's quite limited. And one thing I've noticed about hot pot places in Islamabad, they don't offer as much variety as these guys did. The protein choices they have, they're amazing. Everything was spot on. There was just one small thing that I also pointed out in their suggestions card, which they handed me at the end to sign. And I feel like the salt quantity was just off the charts. It was insanely salty. So I feel like that's something they can improve on. Maybe they can offer options. I know some people like it really salty. Some people don't like it as salty. So maybe they can ask clients up front if they want like a super salty broth or if they want like low sodium, because this was a little too much. Not just the food, but the ambience. This is a rooftop. It's really nice and windy. I love this about Karachi. No matter how hot it gets, at night you'll always have a cool breeze blowing. Absolutely love that about Karachi, and this place was no exception. I love the rooftop seating that they have. Let me show you the lights and the seating. It looks really pretty. At night time, I showed you guys earlier what it looked like during the daytime when we got here. It looks really nice at this time. So that's one thing checked off my list. I've never had hot pot in Karachi before and I've always wanted to have it. So I'm going to check that off my list. And speaking of checklist, I've been coming to Karachi since years and I've never gone to Test Kitchen by Okra. I've always wanted to go there. I've never had a chance before, so I think I'm going to go check that out tomorrow. I'll go during the daytime. It's a weekday, so I'm hoping I'll be able to find a place inside, because usually what I've heard from people is it's really hard to get a seat there. So let's see if I can manage. If I do manage to find a spot, the video will be right here. You can go check out my review of Test Kitchen by Okra.